Less than stellar results on the Divide and Conquer, but I am not giving up. Good afternoon, YouTube. Here on a Wednesday afternoon, or going on 4 o'clock or 4:30. I'm sorry, in the afternoon. This is the second time I've done this part of this video, and I've done another video today that you didn't see. So let me run that real quick. This is the original video I did on this setup. And I'll show you how I've got it all set up after I do the video. You can see that I didn't get very good results. So let me run that real quick. I wasn't recording, I don't think I am now. On that fluke, let me show you what I got there. There's our voltage, 116.78, somewhere I got in there. So obviously that's working. The filament voltage is working, but I do not have anything coming out. Nothing at all. So that makes me think that this is not working. Now the tubes, the filaments are good. I didn't check those, but I didn't actually check the tubes. And like I said, this stuff up here may be required. I don't know. I need to, you know, this is one of the things you're doing really when you do this, is to troubleshoot. That's why you do it. And so obviously we've got some work to be done here on this setup, and that's going to have to be the next part. Alright, now that I have you have seen the first, that is the end of the first video where I had all my cameras running, and you could see everything that was connected, and you could see that there was no output from the speakers. And so that means that either there could be several different things go wrong with that, obviously. The B+, you know, I was tapping in at the filter cap, and it's just exactly where I showed you on the diagram yesterday. And everything is set up exactly the same way as I set it up on that diagram. So that should have worked. Now, like I said, if it didn't, it could be a bad tube. Could be a bad connection between, like I said, where I connected the B+ and where it actually gets to the tubes. It could be this mess. There's 3 caps right there that are not connected to anything, at least on one end. So again, here's our filter cap. Now I am connected on the B+ on the red wire, and I think that's the correct one. It's the one that has the big I believe 22 ohm resistor. And I think that's where I was supposed to connect. Now, I know one thing, it did draw down the power much more than I thought it would. I tried this first on the 150 volt setting for the heath kit, and that did not work. And so I went back and tried it on the 250, and that gave us enough voltage. As you can see in that first video, that was almost 120 volts on the cap there, across the cap I should say. So there's another thing. I had the ground hooked up to the chassis. Maybe that's not a good place to hook it. I don't know. So there's several things that I need to go through and check before I try another test of this. I do know the tube filaments are good. I did check both of those, and it's getting continuity between the two. Let me show you the green wire here. The hook leads are connected to pin 7 of the 50L6 and the 12SQ7, and that's where they're supposed to be hooked up. And the power for the are the yellow wires. The AC coming from the Variac is connected to pin, I'll have to look on my sheet here, pin 2 of the 50L6 and pin 8 of the 12SQ7, and that's where they are supposed to be connected. And it does, as you can see in the video that I showed you, it was getting 62 volts. It was drawing 150 milliamps. That's exactly what it was supposed to draw. So those are actually, the heaters are actually working, and we did not verify, like I said, that the B+ is actually getting to the tubes. So I think that would be my first effort to do. What I'm going to do is just basically trace up here from where it connects, because it's the straight line right to the audio output transformer, which is this one right here. You can see that. And trace that, make sure that's in there good, and go from there. So stay tuned. And back on some more. The red wire going to the transformer connects right here, I believe. And I've got the one lead of the meter on that, and the other one, the blue wire here, is connected to this pin here on the output tube. I believe that's the plate. I'm pretty sure. And I'm reading 155.4 ohms. Now, according to what I'm reading or seeing here, that means I am connected right here. Right here. That's my red wire point going through the transformer to the plate is the other end of what I connected. So I must be reading the resistance or whatever of the primary of the transformer, I'm guessing. So that means to me anyway that we are getting B+, or we should be, on at least on the 50L6. I still have to check the other tube, make sure it's working, and that gets its voltage, B+, whatever you want to call it, from a slightly different source. It's the same source, so if I leave my meter connected there and run over to the plate of the 12SQ7, I should measure the resistor in there, which is 1,000 ohms. Oh, and there's a, I see there's a 220,000 ohm resistor in there too. So obviously that doesn't have quite the voltage that the output tube does. So let me see if I can get any kind of continuity there and see what that adds up to be, and bring you back. Alright, well, I think it's time to cut our losses here and get back to some real work. I did some more checking. None of the values in this thing match what it's supposed to be on the schematic. What I thought was a 22 ohm resistor turned out to be a 280 ohm resistor, and that doesn't match anything. Now it does show a 220 ohm. I believe it's 220. Anyway, this big resistor here measures 280 between there. So that's I don't see that anywhere on that schematic of that value. So anyway, what I'm going to do, and you know, I've been looking at this here. This is a 2-section cap. The main filter cap is supposed to have 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So they've scabbed in extra capacitors, and like I said, I can't even read the value of that one, but I'm almost positive that is the 3rd section, and this is the cathode bypass, maybe. I'm just guessing. Still don't know what this is. I've got to figure out what that is. But I think this is one of those candidates for Ron C. Where you just basically, like I said, you got wires coming here. There's nothing going nowhere. It's just sitting there. And all this mess here on the chassis, I have no idea what that's supposed to be. I'm almost positive that's where that goes, but I've got to check it out and find out where it goes or what it's supposed to be, what cap it's supposed to replace, because I don't have any .22s in here. So at least I think on the power supply section, this section here, all this stuff needs to go. Now the rest of it doesn't look too bad. If you go down here and look, it doesn't look that bad. You got some domino caps. I believe those are good. And you got a couple wax paper here that can be fixed, or replaced, I should say. But this part doesn't look bad. This part is a mess. Really a mess. So I think the best thing to do, I'm not going to cut any wires, because I think that's going to be a good indication of what's what, where's where, where's when. You know what I mean. But I think the caps have got to go, because they all need to be replaced anyway. So, you know, maybe then I can tell where this wire went to. So, you know, that one's going around there. That's connected, it looks like. But this is such a mess in here, you can't even get in there to troubleshoot it. Bill, I know what you mean about that messy. You know, when you got stuff like this, it's just, you have to move everything. And once you move everything, they tend to break off like these did. They were connected to something when I first started playing with this, but who knows what. Like I said, it's just, you got wires running on top of each other. It's just a mess. So, I think the thing to do is to replace the caps and go from there. You know, one thing that will give you a little bit more room in there, and put a new cap up here. Now I don't have, well, that's about ready to fall off anyway, I think. Or maybe, yeah, that was, I thought it was. So that's gone. That was easy. But I don't have another one of those. I have a replacement cap for my other Hallicrafters, and I may end up probably putting it in there. I do want to tune it up and get it working perfectly. It works, but like I said, I'm sure it needs a little tune-up. But these wires here that I checked first were the go to the dial light. They are on the rectifier. I believe that's the one Bill was talking about on his radio with the 50L6. Not the 50L6, but the 5, what was it? 35Z5. Yeah, that's it. That's got that same setup on it, Bill. I think you can see it there. It's right to the dial light runs right to the 35Z5 rectifier tube. So anyway, that wasn't really what we was looking at, but I happened to see that, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I do think instead of working on this right away, I hadn't planned on doing this, but I thought, well, you know, it'd be an interesting project for this divide and conquer. But what I think I'm going to do is take the other one, and we're going to try that. I really would like to see if it works as well as I think it should. And also, I found out the draw of this current, or the 50L6 is like 45 plus milliamps, so that is going to draw down that power supply, or that heat kit. That's why we had to go up a notch on that. And that was just about, going up to the 250 was just about, made it just about right at 120 volts, so that will work on the other one, I'm sure. So anyway, let me do that and get rid of this thing and throw it away or do something. But I really do. This part's just got to go. You just take it out of the circuit and be done with all this crap. It's just, you can't troubleshoot something with all kinds of crap like this in there in the way. It's just, there's no way of doing that. But once you, like I said, take it out, I'll cut the wires off to where at least we'll know what color they were. And, you know, for the caps and things like that. Now, most of them don't even have a color on them. They're just caps, you know, so. But this should serve the purpose of, you know, showing what we've got connected to where. And I do have the schematic for it, so it's not a big deal. I don't think. I'm trying to see where that connects to. I think that's 876. Pin 6 of the 50L6. See where that goes to. I know I'm getting off subject here. Looks like that goes off the cathode. I think that's 6. Can't tell for sure. I don't see any capacitor there. I see this is the cathode bypass, but that's not even an electrolytic. say that's a 0.22. So I'm going to have to look a little closer, use the magnification lamp and see if I can tell more about that, but I think that's where it goes. So, alright, like I say, that's gonna do me. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll try to put this together and get it up sometime this evening. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you.